Ever think about how a word you use every day, a word as simple as map, could unlock this huge hidden story about language itself? Well, that's what we're going to do today.
Okay, so let's start with a word we all think we know inside and out, map. The dictionary says it's a noun, right? An image of a place. Super simple.
I mean, it's a perfect example of a clear, straightforward English word. There's no confusion there.
You know what it is, I know what it is, you use it to find your way. It really seems about as basic as a word can get, but is it?
Because what if I told you there's something more going on with this simple word? A hidden clue to a much, much bigger idea.
So if you look at the entry for map from the Simple English Wiktionary, there's this little line of text right near the top. It's super easy to miss, but this one sentence, it's the key to this entire explainer.
Map is on the Basic English 850 list. And there it is. That's our clue.
Which, of course, brings us to the big question. What on earth is the Basic English 850 list?
All right, let's unpack that. This is where our journey really gets interesting.
The key is this number, 850. Basic English is, well, pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a simplified version of English. But get this, it's made from just 850 carefully selected words. That's it. A whole system for communication built on a vocabulary that could probably fit on just a couple of pages.
Now, why would anyone do this? Well, the goals were actually incredibly ambitious. It was designed for international use, as a simpler way to teach English. It was supposed to help create crystal clear communication in things like science and business. The whole idea was that these 850 words were enough to cover all our everyday needs.
So how does this all get us back to our starting point, the word map? Why did it make the cut for this very exclusive list?
Here's the crucial part. Words weren't chosen just because they were common. They were chosen because they were versatile. Each word had to be a total workhorse, you know? It had to be able to do more than one job.
And map is the perfect illustration of this. It's not just a noun, as in I've got a good street map of London. As the source shows, it's also a verb, an action. Like when we say, John mapped out his idea. See? One word, two distinct, really powerful uses. That is the kind of efficiency Basic English is built on.
So after going down this little linguistic rabbit hole, what's the big takeaway? Why does any of this matter?
This brings us to a really important point. Having a small vocabulary doesn't mean you can only have small ideas. In fact, when it's done right, simplicity can be incredibly powerful. And this isn't just some theory, it has real-world applications. A system like Basic English can make learning the language way more accessible for people all over the world. It can be an amazing tool for writing clear, technical documents that everyone can understand. And maybe most importantly, it could help build bridges between people from different cultures by giving them a simple, shared starting point.
You know, our whole journey started with one simple word, map, and it led us to this huge, fascinating project. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. Could 850 words really change the way the world communicates?